All right, if you just joined us, it's still Journalist Hangout. I still have Dr. Oladipo right here and BQ. Now to our next conversation. A vibrant democracy depends on the presence of a credible opposition and checks on power. Amidst a wave of defections to the ruling All Progressives Congress APC, the People's Democratic Party PDP is digging in its heels. At its 99th National Executive Committee meeting, Acting National Chairman Umar Damagun reaffirmed the party's resolve not to yield to what it describes as attempts to turn Nigeria into a one-party state. In a strongly worded communique, the PDP called on the Tinubu administration to reverse policies it says have deepened insecurity and worsened economic hardship. The party's resistance has sparked renewed debate over the health of Nigeria's multi-party system and the shrinking space for dissent in the political landscape. All right, Mikhail, the PDP says that it will resist APC's one-party totalitarian agenda. I mean, but the question is the APC on a one-party state agenda?
I doubt it, and even if the APC would like to see a one-party state, it will not achieve that aim. If it actually is at its aim, Nigeria will not become a one-party state. You see, we've been here before.
Okay.
We've been here before. There was a time when PDP had about 28 states. Nigeria didn't become a one-party state. People just like to create a storm in a teacup. Donald Trump won 31 out of 50 states in a country that we see has the peak when it comes to democracy. 31 states out of 50. Can anybody who knows what he's doing say America is about to become a one-party state? No, it's not going to happen. George Walker Bush, in being re-elected as president, won 30 out of 50 U.S. states in 2003. He still, I think, is it 2004? Yeah. He still didn't turn America to a one-party state. PDP has a big role to play to ensure that nothing close to a one-party state happens. It has to fix the rot from his party. This is the truth that they don't like to hear. You have a party where people are so selfish, all they can think about is either you give me this position or the party dies. If the party dies, that is not my problem, unless I get what I want. There are many such people in the PDP. That's what brought the PDP to its knees. The PDP had no business losing the 2015 election, if not for the division within its ranks. The division within its ranks played into the hands of the APC. You know how many of their governors moved to APC? How many people who had lost out in the primaries of the PDP crossed to the APC, and they were given tickets, and they won the election. People like Otom, people like the former governor of Kebbi State, Atiku Bagudu. From the primaries, they moved, and they won. It is the selfishness of individuals in the PDP that will continue to shrink the fortune of the party. Let them stop telling us all this story about one-party state. No. What are they doing, for example? Ordinary NEC meeting, postponed 5 times.
5 times, yes.
You can't even, I'm not even talking about convention. And when people are defecting, you say, oh, it's the other people who are causing them to defect. Why hasn't Sule Lamido defected? Why hasn't someone like, even the former Attorney General of the country, the man from Kogi State, Okene man, why hasn't he defected? I know big people in the party who have not defected. So people who are defecting, they have their own reasons. Some don't have principle.
Sure.
So they should stop all this story about Nigeria will never become a one-party state. It's not going to happen.
Okay, so this issue of one party, is this an excuse, I mean, by the opposition for its failures not to resolve their internal crisis? Or do you think the one-party agenda is actually real?
It's easy to tackle and answer that question. The party recently set up a committee led by Abubakar.
Okay, the Saraki led.
What has happened to it? It has not made any progress. Because the same people causing this problem are still insisting on having their ways. So how do you resolve it when people are not willing to shift ground? I've always said to people, when you want to know how to succeed in politics, go back and see how APC was formed.
Okay.
It was formed with nobody projecting an ambition before that formation. It would have been easy for Bola Ahmed Tinubu to have said at the formation of APC, I had to run to be president. After all, he was a major player. It would have been easy for him to insist that he was going to be the running mate of Muhammadu Buhari. But when they said no, don't let's at this point do a Muslim ticket, he said no. I said yes, put in an Osinbajo. But is the PDP doing the same? Look at the simple issue of who the secretary, national secretary of that party should be. It's been dragging on for over a year. Why are people not willing to sit down and make concessions? Why? Because that's what makes politics easier to deal with. Concessions. But the party is still standing on the same ground. In fact, it's worsening now. It's worsening.
It's worsening.
Some people are already saying they want to run for the presidency. Even when the party is in crisis. One governor from the north, another from the south. You know, isn't there a policy about rotation in your own party?
Even when they had far more governors from southern Nigeria, they still couldn't get their own party to agree to let power go to the south. APC, with far less governors from the south, people like Nasir El-Rufai, they came out to say, they went to the president and said, let's go to the south.
To the south.
Despite that, they had far less governors. Governors are the pillars of political parties. Yet, the governors of PDP back then could not use their influence to convince their party to let power shift to the south. That's to tell you something about them, about the makeup of people in the party. Now everyone who wants to defend now say, oh, there is a crisis in the party, there is crisis, and they are moving. They found the justification for leaving. And these people are not doing their best to make sure that that crisis comes to an end. People must be ready to make concessions in the interest of the collective. And you tell yourself, this is the goal. We want to unseat Bola Tinubu. Let us, whatever crisis we have, let's come together, achieve that aim. After we've achieved that aim, we can fight, if necessary. But that's not the way they are thinking. That's not the way they are thinking.
By the time certain individuals left PDP and went into APC, I knew, especially those who were from the southeast, when they started living for the APC, I knew there was a problem.
It is well.
You know?
Okay. All right, then. It's so good to have for the gentlemen. But right about now, the National Sports Festival is, they're having a closing ceremony right now.